Kamen Rider, Climax Heroes.
Heidi ho neighbors, Radio Goji here, and welcome to sort of special version of Squeeze the World today. Unfortunately, Greg could not make it out to record, and I'm going to be leaving in a few days for vacation anyway, so I figure I'll just do a few quick videos of this. Here's something you thought you'd never see, huh? This is Kamen Rider Super Climax Heroes for the PSP, and because it's going through the basically component. Let me go to just the character select screen here, just to, because it likes to talk a lot whenever you select anything. But yeah, as you can, this is a PSP game, so with the way the video capture works, it is very cropped. But hopefully we can get used to that. This is just kind of sort of an introduction video here as to what we're going to be doing with this, because it's not going to be as drawn out or as glorious of a walkthrough or whatever you want to call it that Climax Heroes O's was going to be back so long ago. First off and foremost, this is the latest of this series of games. It came out during Kamen Rider Wizards tenure, and basically upped the roster of characters to the point where, while there are like a good chunk of the Showa writers and a handful of movie writers like Ryuga here, it basically filled out the TV cast of every single writer that was considered a main character in the TV shows. So who does that leave us with altogether? Well, they're all kind of arranged weird, so I'm just going to go off the top of my head as to who's in this. Got Ichigo, Nigo, and V3. We've also got Amazon, Black RX, and Shadow Moon. Then going into the Heisei Riders, we have Kuga, of course. From Agito, we have Agito, G3X, and Gills. From Ryuki, we have all of the frickin' Ryuki Riders, basically carried over from Climax Heroes O's and through Forze, but because I'm listing them off, Ryuki, Knight, Scissors, Zolda, Guy, Raya, Oja, Tiger, Emperor, Odin, Ryuga, Thom, and Verde. That's a mouthful. From Fies, we have Fies, Kaiza, and Delta. From Blade, we have Blade, Garen, Chalice, and Liangle. From Hibiki, we have Hibiki, Ibuki, Zanki, and Todoroki. From Kabuto, we have Kabuto, the Bee, Drake, Sasword, Gadak, Punch Hopper, Kick Hopper, and Dark Kabuto. Den-O brings in Den-O, Zeranos, and New Den-O. Oh, and Nega Den-O. I forgot Nega Den-O. He's in there too. From Kiva, we have Kiva, Ixa, and Saga. No Dark Kiva, oddly enough, though. That's like the only TV writer I know of from Kiva that's not there, but regardless. From Decade, we have Decade and The End. From Double, we have... Oh, the Double Meta Series, I guess you could say. Well, I mean, New Den-O is part of the Den-O Meta Series. But anyway, Double, Axel, Skull, and Eternal. And basically to kind of like an offshoot extent, Kamen Rider Joker is a playable version of Double. And there's also like a cameo from Kamen Rider Cyclone, which is only in like a novel or something like that. And then from O's, we have O's, Birth, and by extension, Birth Prototype or Proto-Birth. And then Kamen Rider Wizard, who, seeing as this game debuted in the middle of his TV show, he only has about half the powers that you'd expect him to by this point. I have all the characters unlocked now. Normally you go through story mode and do that. Basically what I was doing with O's, or Climax Heroes O's, is I was going to, play through all the characters I could, then go through the story mode and unlock more characters, and play through those characters, in arcade mode I mean, but I don't the story mode is a little bit more involved in this than I would have liked. It has, like all the riders have different abilities that you could equip on them, and I don't know my way around that very well. I mean, I was able to get my way through the superhero mode, or super climax mode, or whatever they call it. I think it was superhero mode in this. I was able to get through that okay to unlock all of the characters, and that worked out fine. But I just didn't really want to go through that and unlock every single character again. I'm also, because of the sheer number of characters, I'm not going to be playing through every single one, like, in quick succession through arcade mode like that. My plan with this is just, it's going to be something that I'm not necessarily going to do like a, I mean, it may end up being like a huge series of things, but it's only going to be something I do sporadically. It's not going to be something I do regularly. So I do have a few days of this lined up, and maybe a few more once I come back from vacation. Basically leading up to the Thursday after when I start getting together with Greg again. But yeah, I'm just basically going to pick out my favorite ones here. I am in versus or arcade mode now, and I have been doing a little bit of practice here. But I'm going to start basically do my playthrough arcade mode with my favorite riders. Change it up a little bit. I'm not going to do like all of the gameplay styles here and like all together. I'm just going to do whatever one and then move on to another rider and so on and so forth. But yeah, everything is unlocked. All the riders, all their styles, all their forms for their styles are all unlocked. So I should probably explain that a bit too, because there are 6 styles that you can choose from in the game. I mean, not every single rider has every single style, but they basically start off in O's and then kind of evolve from there. There are form change styles, which are basically like for folks like O's here, or even Decade. One of the better examples is Kuga. You have more than one form that you can freely switch between at any time. And those are denoted by the green-colored, super bar, or rider gauge is what they're called, in the bottom corner. Power-up styles are with the red gauges. They allow for a transition from a base form into a more powerful form if you have the rider gauge filled up all the way. The form change, by the way, it works differently for each rider that has it, because each one works differently than the others. But yeah, the power-up basically goes from one form to another if you have full rider gauge. Support attack are orange-colored. If you use up a little bit of your rider gauge, you can basically bring in another character or entity to basically do a quick attack. Usually they're used as counters, but they can be a variety of things. Folks like Kabuto here have speed up, which is denoted by the blue-colored power bar. And once they're all full up on that, you can basically briefly enter a state where your rider gauge just steadily empties, and you're basically fast. Basically, time slows down around you. You're faster than everyone else. But of course, if you have 2 characters that have a speed-up gauge and they both use it at the same time, it'll cancel each other out. And then we've got Assault. Assault used to be called Blank or Normal or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it's called. It's the white colored bar. It used to do nothing, but in this game, not this game, actually in Forza, the game before this one, it upgraded it because there were so many riders that were getting that blank style that they basically made it so that when you use it, it beefs your character up, gives them more attacks, and it gives them more attacks. String longer combos, and beefs their attack power. It's one we'll probably be seeing the most often because of how many of these guys just have Assault, especially with some of the Showa riders. They really couldn't think of much else to do with those. And then we also have Tag, which means you can choose 2 riders, choose one form for each that you're going to stick with, and then you can basically swap between them or even have them both fight together, depending on how you have it set up. There are also some special things like, for example, Kabuto's power-up style also has speed up in there somewhere, so you can actually use both. And there are even some characters that have a special tag, like Deno and Birth, where you can basically summon in a different form of the same rider as your tag partner. Basically, it's a standard 3D fighter. If you've seen the videos, what few videos I did for Climax Heroes O's, that was basically a 2D fighter with some 3D elements, kind of like Tekken. In this case, it's fully like an all-range mode thing. You can run all over the place, as we'll see. There's even a separate button for jump now. It's really come out on its own. There are rider arts now that you can use with the L button. I'll explain a lot of that when I get into the actual battling, but that's it for this introductory video. I hope you're looking forward to these. And in the next video, which I'm going to start pretty much right away, I will actually start off with my favorite Kamen Rider, Blade. He only has a power-up form. I'll explain this again, but he has 2 different forms he can change into. But we'll get into that when we get into that. So look forward to the next video, which will be up the same day as this one, but whatever. Anyway, I've been Radio Goji, and I'll be here next time. Join me, won't you?